how you doing? Welcome back. My name's Phoenix Clouden. This is A Day or So Late Movie Reviews, and this time we are checking in on the start of a franchise that I admit I am a little late to. So this is my first time watching the very first Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So this was the first movie of the Harry Potter series. I'm weaving my way through it, but it was quite an interesting watch because now the Harry Potter series, as far as I don't know if they're doing a movie for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I hope so. But like knowing pretty much that there's it's getting good, you know what I'm saying? Knowing like, oh man, it gets bigger and Voldemort, and all of this exciting stuff. So I'm like watching it sort of like, like a kid just eating popcorn just in anticipation, because it's Harry Potter, man. I'm like, it's one of those movies that became like a pop culture, I guess you would call it phenomenon. Yeah, like a pop culture phenomenon because there was so much there. There's the books are I hear the books are great. I got to check out the books as well. But I was super excited for the movies just because I'm diving into this phenomenon that I wasn't a part of originally. Harry Potter came out around the same time as Lord of the Rings and I think Twilight, and I drifted towards those two more than I did Harry Potter. So I left out probably the biggest pop culture phenomenon and instead opted for one of these two, lames, even though they're both awesome. But in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, this is the start of it. He's dropped off at the house of his aunt and uncle by Dumbledore and Hagrid, who's by far, for someone coming into this, I don't know what happens in the other movies. Please don't tell me. But Hagrid is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. Isn't he beautiful? Oh, bless him. Look, he knows his mummy. Hello, Norbert.
Norbert?
Yeah, well, he's got to have a name, doesn't he? Don't you, Norbert? Hey. Ooh! 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 Well, you have to be trained up a bit, of course.
He's undoubtedly super funny. Love him. He brought joy to this movie, and I just enjoyed it. But yeah, he's dropped off at his aunt and uncle's, and they got a spoiled son who I know, like, we're supposed to hate this kid. And I did. He was giving me serious Veruca Salt vibes.
I want you to get me an Oompa Loompa right away.
All right, Veruca, all right. I'll get you one before the day's out.
I want an Oompa Loompa now. Can it, you nit?
And I'm like, anyone who knows me knows Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is one of my favorite movies of all time. And Veruca Salt still gets on my nerves. Like, to this day, still gets on my nerves. But he was giving me those vibes, and yet I still love this kid. I was like, dude, he's like, I hope he appears more in the series because he's super just weird and quirky, even though he's like spoiled rotten. But then we get to see Potter. We get to see Harry Potter, and he goes through his transition of learning about magic and learning about Hogwarts and what the next few years of his life is pretty much going to be. And it's just super exciting for someone coming into this series pretty much blind, who's like pretty much on this journey with him, like, oh man, what is this? And, especially coming in without having read the books, is even more like wide-eyed, like, I can only imagine if I had read the books, seeing these scenes. probably would have been like, oh, this is the scene where, oh, you know what I'm saying? Either that, or I'd have been like, ah, they did that scene wrong. Oh, it's better in the book, you know what I'm saying? Like, so something like that. But coming into it completely wide-eyed, I enjoyed it. To me, the finish, though, was a little bit weak. I didn't care too much for the finish. It just, I felt that could have been stronger. But, oh yeah, the other thing about the ending, that just made me mad. And I don't know if this was done in the book. I don't know how people responded when it first happened, when they first saw it. But it just made me super mad. So, like, Gryffindor was losing points throughout the entire movie. You know, I think they lost like 160 points or something like that. They just got slaughtered, right? Because they kept doing dumb stuff. So they lost like buku points. And then because they, you know, found out Professor I forgot his name.
To him, who would suspect poor stuttering Professor Quirrell?
The stuttering professor. They found out that he was the one behind, you know, all the things happening in Hogwarts, and that because he had, you know, Voldemort attached to the back of his head, which was disgusting.
Unicorn blood can sustain me, but it cannot give me a body of my own. But there is something that can.
It was such a great visual, but it was gross. I was like, ugh. But, that being said, yeah, that, you know, because they had defeated him and he, like, Dumbledore gave them all their points back and they won over, Slytherin. I was like, boo! Boo! Like, it was just so typical. Like, oh, the good guys gotta win. Like, come on, man. Like they were in fourth place. So, like, Hufflepuff was in third, Ravenclaw in second, and Slytherin had won. And I'm like, look, okay, if you wanted to give Hermione 50 points back for what she did, fine. Harry, his 50 points back for what he did, fine. And even the dude that stood up to him, his 10 points, great. They would have been in second. Like, no. Like, why'd you take this away from Slytherin? They worked hard for that. I thought that was grimy. I did not like that. I felt like their victory was cheap. But the rest of the movie I thought was great. I'm super excited for Chamber of Secrets. I can't wait. And for anybody wondering, for me, if I were put under the sorting hat, I think I would have to go to Ravenclaw. And that's because I don't know really, you know, the book probably lays it out more, but I feel like Gryffindor, based on the movies, I feel like Gryffindor is like where all the good guys go. Slytherin is where you do, you know, you got more dirt than you do good. Hufflepuff is like neutral. And I feel like Ravenclaw is the best mix of good and bad. It's like people who do shady stuff, but for a good cause or something like that. So I feel like that's where I'd belong, is in Ravenclaw. It'd be just my luck. I end up in like Hufflepuff or something, like, ugh. I don't know. I was watching a movie with a friend of mine, and she of course has all the books and seen all the movies. And I'd asked her, like, you know, because I know what happens with Gryffindor and Slytherin, but she had said that you don't really get much in depth into Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw, and I was like, oh, that's upsetting. I'm hoping she's lying to me just to keep me interested. So we'll see. But super excited for Chamber of Secrets. I have to say right now, the Harry Potter series, I can't make a determination on it just yet. Uh, the first movie, I would give it. I give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out. More like a 6.8. More like a 6.8 out of 10. The ending, like I said, it wasn't great enough. It wasn't grand enough for me. And if I didn't know that it was a series, it would have been underwhelming, to say the least. But it does have me excited for the rest of the series, and I know that there are movies that are even stronger coming up. So I'm super excited about that. But I thought it was a great intro into this world. All right. So you guys, I'm sure, have probably seen Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. What did you think? Leave your comments in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. I'm Phoenix Cloud, and this has been A Day or So Late Movie Reviews. Peace.